Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Good afternoon. So, what we are going to see in the next 45 minutes or so is that, is there a scope for highway engineers in the civil engineering profession? I am aware of the fact that many of you would have chosen civil engineering out of compulsion. Maybe somebody forced you to take the profession. Is there anyone who has chosen civil engineering as the first choice? Anyone? Good, there are at least 2 or 3 are there out of the 100. But nevertheless, I think you will look back, and at the end of the talk, you will understand the importance of civil engineer in the highway engineering profession. But by the by, are you able to see any improvement in the quality of the roads in the country? No? Let me take you over what has happened over the last 15 years or 20 years by now, and then you will realize what are the changes that we have made in the profession. So, if you look back in 2001, these were the condition of the national highways. The condition of the national highways from this condition in 2001 has improved over a period of time. When we look at the conditions of the highways, what we realized from America is that America is rich because it has got better quality roads, not that America is rich and hence it has got better quality roads. The country's economy depends upon the quality of the roads. If you have good quality roads, that means the country is prosperous. I think India is now learnt from USA. This is a well-known saying from John F. Kennedy, that it is not the wealth that build the roads, but the roads that build our wealth. Indian highways today, you said that there has not been any significant improvement in the quality of the roads. Let me show some photographs of the roads today. The conditions of road which were very bad earlier has improved today. This is a classic example of the Mumbai-Pune expressway. We have other highways which are comparable to any other developed country of the world. We are able to see beautiful roads, scenic roads in the country today. Is a classic example of the Yamuna expressway today. Having seen this, do you still believe that there is no improvement in the quality of the roads? Do you believe? Or do you think that there is an improvement in the quality of the roads? There has been improvement in the quality of the roads. But what you do not understand is that, what is the cost of constructing these highways? What are the design factors? What are the issues or challenges which a civil engineering professional will face in the country during the construction, maintenance, operation of these highways? Let me take you over to the issues one by one. If we look at the roads in the country today, this is the Yamuna expressway here. India has got the second largest road network in the world. They carry about 85% of the passenger traffic and about 70% of the freight traffic. National highways is around 1 lakh and odd kilometers. I will come to the statistics, which constitute less than 2% of the country's road network, carries 40% of the traffic. Many of the highways are single lane, 2 lane, only a fraction of them are only 4 lane, 6 lane or 8 lane highways. Many of them are poorly surfaced, highly congested, speeds are very low. If you go to any other developed country of the world, you will be able to travel at an average around 80 to 100 kilometers per hour. But in India, we were able to travel only at the speed of around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. The other agony or the problem that we face in the country today is that India has got nearly 4.2% of the world's vehicles, but contribute nearly about 9 to 10% of the fatalities. So, the question arises at this point of time, good quality roads, high speeds, more fatalities. Poor quality roads, less speed and less accidents, less fatalities. So, what is that you need? You need safety or you need faster movement of people and goods. But as you are aware, Indian traffic is heterogeneous in character. There are nearly 14 to 15 types of vehicles using the same carriageway. The speed differential between vehicles are more, with the result there are several road crashes. So, the challenge before us is that we cannot copy any standards from any other country, developed country of the world to India. We need our own specifications, geometry design standards. So, there comes, and moreover, our Indian drivers are not that well educated as other countries of the world. So, with the result, we need to design forgiving highways. How to design the forgiving highways is a challenge before us. So, having said this about the quality of the roads here, in India, we have nearly 1,20,543 kilometers of national highways. When we talk about 2 lane, 4 lane, 6 lane, they come under this category of 1,20,543. State highways constitute nearly about 1.55 lakh kilometers. So, out of the 54 lakh kilometers or 5.4 million kilometers of road in the country, less than 2 lakh kilometers are only national highways and state highways, 3 lakh kilometers. The balance of 52 lakh kilometers or 5.2 million kilometers of roads are other roads, rural roads. So, the question arises at this point of time, when the volume of traffic using these highways are different, we have to design differently all these categories of roads. So, out of the 54.82 lakh kilometers of road in the country, nearly about 65% of the freight and 80% of the passenger is carried on the roads, and the vehicle growth is of the order of 10.16%. So, with the result, when the vehicles grow at the rate of around 10% per year, your single lane road will become a 2 lane road. A 2 lane road will become a 4 lane highway. 4 lane highway will become 6 lane and 8 lane. So, there is no stoppage of this growth of vehicles, which means you have before you several highways which are to be converted from a single lane which is around 3.5 meter to 2 lane which is 7 meters to a 4 lane to 6 lane and 8 lane. This will be the challenges that you will face in the years to come. When you want to do this, what are the challenges and problems that you will face? What we have done is that since we learned that the country's economy depends upon the roads, we have taken several road building initiatives. The first one that we took up in the year 2003-2004 was that the National Highway Development Program, or NHDP. Under this NHDP, there are about 7 phases of this NHDP to be completed by 2012, but out of this, a part we could complete, a majority we could not complete because of many challenges and problems. I will come to the issues of challenges, risks, problems that we faced. But the investment of this NHDP or a National Highway Development Program is of the order of 1.72 trillion, about 172,000 crores. So, you can put 0 and count the number of zeros. One of the costliest civil engineering infrastructure is a road. So, here this NHDP consists of 2 major components. One is called as the Golden Quadrilateral, connecting Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Calcutta and Delhi. So, this is around 5,846 kilometers called as NHDP phase 1. At the phase 2, we have the north-south, east-west corridor called as the News Corridor, starting from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Porbandar to Silchar. So, this is a Golden Quadrilateral, it is a News Corridor connecting the north-south and east-west. This is phase 2 of the NHDP program. So, this is what you are able to see in this graph, the NHDP program, where you are able to see that from Srinagar to Kanyakumari and from Porbandar to Silchar is a News Corridor, and we have the north-south east-west quadrilateral connecting Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Calcutta and back Delhi. So, all these highways are either 4 lane or 6 lane or 8 lane depending upon the volume of traffic. Understand at this point of time that as the volume of traffic increases, you might widen the carriageway from 2 lane to 4 lane to 6 lane. In addition, we have, it's one of the most ambitious road development programs taken up by any country of the world. We have divided carriageways, service roads wherever it is required, grade separators, we will talk about the grade separators subsequently, overbridges, underpasses, bypasses around the congested cities, wayside amenities, also enhanced safety features. When you have different types of vehicles operating at different speeds, ensuring safety for all these categories of roads is a real challenge. So, we want to build in this design the safety features as well. So, we can compare the Indian highways with any other country of the world, they are comparable. So, under the NHDP phase 3, we taken up the of around 12,109 kilometers of NH. The cost is around 80,626 crores. NHDP phase 4 is improvement of 20,000 kilometers of national highways. 5 is widening of the Golden Quadrilateral connecting Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Calcutta from 4 lane to 6 lane. Phase 6 is construction of 1000 kilometers of expressways. Under these projects 6 and 7 is construction of bypasses, ring roads, flyovers around 16,680 crores. The Northeast has got a special privilege of having an accelerated road development program. The beauty of this is that till about 2001, the design, construction, maintenance and operation of all these highways were taken up by the government of India. We realize that the government cannot afford to construct these highways. These projects under the ICEP is that all these projects are taken up under the scheme called as a BOT, Build, Operate and Transfer. The concessionaire, he can bid for the project, he can design, he can build, he can operate. At the end of the concession period, which will be 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, he will transfer the asset back to the government. The question arises at this point of time, why should you do this? Take up the profession of designing, constructing and operating a road. If you have money, you can construct a factory, you can do a business, you can run a medical college. But if you have money, do you think that investing money on road construction will be a profit making business? Yeah? Will anyone take up the profession? Yeah? Toll roads, yes, I am coming exactly to the toll roads. The question arises at this point of time, people ask, why should I pay a toll? Should I pay a toll? Do you still feel that you should pay a toll? We pay. We use water, we use a mobile phone, you charge. But when you want to use a road, you do not wish to pay a toll. But the issue arises at this point of time, how much will it cost to construct a road? Why should a private sector invest his money for designing and constructing a road? So, when the government was designing the highway and requesting the contractor to build, the purpose of the road rested with the government because they were designing the highway, but we were blaming the contractor for the bad quality road. On the other hand, if you ask the contractor or concessionaire, build, maintain, operate and transfer, the risk is being transferred from the government to the private concessionaire. By the by, when you try to do this project, will it be a profit making business? How much is the profit one can get? Is a question that will arise in your mind. Project. To give an example of how much a roadway will cost. Example of a road project taken up by L&T IDPL, Infrastructure Development Projects Limited. This road is a Bivar Pali Pindwara Tollway Limited. Every highway under the build, operate, transfer is given to a road company. The road company has got a board of directors. They collect the road, they operate, they maintain, at the end they will transfer. So, this highway is around 240 kilometers, 240 kilometers. The total project cost of this is 2,472 crores. The cost of constructing this highway for a 4-lane highway of 240 kilometers is around 2,472 crores, which means the cost of constructing 1 kilometer of a 4-lane highway is around 10 crores. You know that we have 1,25,000 kilometers of highways. Assuming that I want to convert them into 4-lane and 6-lane, you can work out what will be the amount that we require for constructing these highways. At this point of time, when I have money of 2,472 crores in my pocket, you can put it deposit in a bank. 13% interest you may get. So, but do you think that investing this money in a road sector will get you a higher return than doing a business or investing in a bank? Let me take you over what are the issues and concerns when you want to design and construct these highways. In addition to this NHDB project, what the government has realized is that it's time that we construct more and more kilometers of expressways. So, these expressways will have, we want to construct nearly 15,600 kilometers of expressways, national highway expressway network by 2022. We have just started. So, this is a huge potential for all of you. You will find more lanes of highways being converted or being constructed as a new expressway, but this project of the 15,600 kilometers of expressways will cost nearly 2,50,000 crores. You can divide by the 15,600 to know how much will it cost to construct 1 kilometer of an expressway. These expressways can be constructed as a greenfield expressway or can be constructed as a brownfield expressway. One where the alignment is new. Greyfield is one where we will convert an NHDP into an expressway. A 4-lane existing highway will be converted into an expressway. But the design speed on all these highways, expressways will be 3.6 meters, will be the width of each lane. It will be 4-lane, 6-lane expressways. So, you will see more and more lanes of expressways in the years to come. So, designing these expressways, catering to different vehicles operating at different speeds is a challenge for you. So, we will have nearly around 16,000 kilometers of expressways in the years to come. So, if I want these highways to be constructed by the concessionaire, what that you need? The government thought over the issues and concerns. What they found is that in this highway construction, 100% foreign direct investment is possible. Secondly, government carries out all the preparatory works. The land is given free of charge. You need not buy the land. Your job is only design, construction, operation and maintenance. The government does all the preparatory work for you to design and construct the highway. The NHDP provides capital grants of 40%, which means if 1000 crores is a project, 400 crores will be given by the government. So, your tax loan liability will only be 600 crores. So, you have to work out, will I get this money back in terms of from toll revenue? It is Bewar Polypindwara, which I just made a mention. The toll revenue is the order of around 1 crore per day. The toll revenue is around 300 plus crores every year. When you get that money out of 2,400 crores as a loan, how much can I pay back in terms of principal, interest? How much money do I require for operation maintenance is a challenge before us. In addition, the government also permits here housing, real estate development, duty-free import of equipment, machinery that you require. So, government has framed a structure in which private concessionaire can take road building as a business, as a profit making business. As I mentioned, these projects are under the design, build, operate and transfer DBOT projects. So, these projects, there are many economic benefits. So, why should I do this? What are the benefits which the government can get, which the road user will get? As a road user, the question arises at this point of time, why should I pay a toll? Can anyone tell us why do you pay a toll? Don't say that I want to use the toll, but question is that why do you pay a toll? Anyone? Yeah. That is my botheration, but why do you pay a toll? I ask, the question arises at this point in time, how much will you pay? Assume that you have to travel 100 kilometers of travel, how much will you pay? If you want to travel 100 kilometers, how much will you pay? No, how much will you pay? Okay, you tell us for car. Two-wheelers don't pay. So, the question of two-wheeler paying toll does not arise. Yeah? I am telling 100 kilometers. 100 kilometers of travel you have to make. For a car. Yeah. 65, right? Okay. So, if you pay 65 rupees per day, per length, per travel, you should be able to work out, will I get back the revenue which I want? what is that will balance between, why the question, next question arises, why do you pay 65? What is the basis for the 65? We look at the, why you think in terms of paying 65 rupees is because you save money in terms of vehicle operating cost. Fine. Road is safer. So you feel that paying 65 rupees is reasonable, right? So issue arises at the benefit to a road user in terms of savings in vehicle operating cost, savings in travel time, fuel savings, benefit to the trade in terms of movement of perishable goods. The same bus will be able to make 2 or 3 turnarounds. Same lorry, which is traveling 240 kilometers per day, will be able to travel 1000 kilometers per day today because of better quality roads. So the fleet is being better utilized. There is savings in maintenance costs. Road becomes more safer because of safety appurtenances. Area gets overall developed. So from the golden quadrilateral alone, we found the benefits are around 8,000 crores annually from one golden quadrilateral. Now you can imagine the benefit to the society as a whole when we convert this NHDP as well as other highway projects. So there is significant improvement of societal benefit by constructing these highways. Other issue is that what I have been saying so far is about a project, a case of a DBOT project where they design, build, operate and transfer. Where I said the government makes all preparatory works, give the land free of cost and you should only collect the toll for 20 years or 30 years. There are projects which will get you higher returns. With the result, the concessionaires are willing to share their profit with the government. So these projects are called as a negative grant projects. A classic example is a project of a widening project in Gujarat. It's a Bharuch-Surat section, 65 kilometers. The concessionaires IDAA infrastructure has said that the project cost is 492 crores. They say that they will pay back to NHAI, National Highway Authority of India, a sum of 504 crores. So in a nutshell, road building is a profit making business. Many cases, it can be a win-win situation. The government also gets money in terms of negative grant by awarding the work to a concessionaires. It's not only the concessionaire who makes money, the government also makes money. So this money I can use it elsewhere. I'll tell us where to use this money elsewhere. So in a nutshell, road construction, road building, operation, maintenance is a profit making business. When you go further to the projects which are taken up currently today in the country today, the major project that we have taken up in the country is a Bharat-Mala project, wherein we thought about optimal movement of freight and passenger. We want to develop economic corridors, inter-corridors, feeder routes. We want to connect more districts, ports are to be connected, greenfield expressways are to be constructed. So this Bharat-Mala project consists of 24,800 kilometers in phase 1 and the estimated outlay is 5,35,000 crores for the next 5 years. This is where your challenge lies. When you graduate from here, you can be a concessionaire, you can be a contractor, you can be a businessman taking up Bharat-Mala projects. So there is the issue is that how should the resources be optimally utilized? The major challenge that we face in the country today is how to optimally utilize the resources that are available. Number 1 in terms of money, number 2 in terms of materials, number 3 in terms of manpower. How do you do that? I think at the end of the 4-year program that you study here, you should be able to design, construct, operate and maintain the highway facilities. So when you look at these projects, Bharat-Mala projects, earlier in the NHDP, we had only 6 corridors of the golden quadrilateral north, south, east, west corridors. This will go from 6 corridors to 50 corridors by the end of the Bharat-Mala program. Only 40% of freight was carried by the national highways. This is expected to go from 70 to 80%. Thirdly, only 300 districts are covered by the NHDP projects. Now, more than 550 districts will be covered under the Bharat-Mala program. So, with the result, the quality of the roads will improve. More districts will have expressways and highways connected through a better quality roads. The outlay, as you can be seen, is an economic corridor development. We will have inter-corridors, feeder roads which will connect to this Bharat-Mala program. National Corridor Efficiency Program, border roads, internationally connectivity roads, port connectivity, expressways. So, all this will be taken up around 83,677 kilometers will be taken up at a cost of nearly 7 lakh crores. So, one of the huge investment of a civil engineering infrastructure is on designing and constructing these highways and expressways. That is what you should understand at the first point of time. Leaving alone these expressways, when you come to next, we talk about state highways. So, we need a system of hierarchy of roads. We have the village roads, we have the district roads, we have the state highways, we have national highways, we have expressways. So, there is a hierarchy of roads in the country today. Nearly 5,000 kilometers of state highways need upgradation from 4 lane to 6 lane or even 2 lane to 4 lane. So, these have got a significant impact, but many of the projects on the state highways are taken up by funding from the international funding agencies like World Bank, Asian Development Bank. Many of the international agencies are coming forward to fund these NHDP projects. So, we also taken up private sector participation, through private sector participation, construction of many improvement of these state highways from single lane to 2 lane, 2 lane to 4 lane. They are being taken up depending upon the demand. Other than that, urban infrastructure. One is expressways, we talk about national highways, we talk about state highways, come to the urban roads. So, we had a program called as the Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission, investment of order of 1,20,000 crores, wherein we wanted to connect, improve 35 cities with a population of over 1 million. We need a sustainable development. We need the linkage between the asset creation, asset management. On one hand, the issue that you should understand or remember is that creating an asset is not a major issue. Maintaining and preserving this asset is the major challenge. You need money, you need resources. I will come to the issue of how these resources can be managed. So, in addition, we also have a smart cities project. So, you can go to the smartcities.government.in. You will get more and more details about smart cities that we have identified, the improvement that we are going to take, improvement that will take place in these cities, so that we will have world class cities in the country in the years to come. So, huge investment is being made for the construction of urban expressways or improvement of movement of people in urban areas. We found that only 30% of the 100 crore population lived in urban areas, but now more than 40% of the 140 crore population by 2025 will live in urban areas. So, this will bring in severe pressure on the urban roads, with the result more congestion, more delay, more accidents, and you will be invited to construct more and more flyovers, underpasses, interchanges, bypasses, new roads, circular roads. A classic example as how the vehicular growth has impeded the movement of people and goods can be seen from Bangalore. You will be able to travel maybe around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, maybe 10 years back. Today, the average speed of travel is not more than 10 kilometers per hour. If you want to travel 15 kilometers, you require 1.5 hours. So, you have vehicles, you have road, but you are not able to move. So, what is the solution that you can think of? Is a challenge before us. So, urban road, urban infrastructure improvement is the third major challenge that we will face apart from expressways and NHDP, state highways and urban roads. The fourth issue that comes before you is constructing of other roads, outer ring roads. To give an example of how much we have spent for the outer ring road for Chennai. The outer ring road is around 30 kilometers. You can go around Chennai. If you want to go around the Chennai in the outer ring road, you can try this outer ring road from Vadalur to Nemeliseri. The investment of this 30 kilometers is around 1,000 crores, which means the cost of constructing each kilometer of this outer ring road is more than 30 crores. One, if you want to construct this outer ring road, you need money, but more importantly, we require materials. The challenge before you as a civil engineer is non-availability of the materials for construction. I will come to that issue now. Apart from this, NHDP projects, expressways, state highways, urban roads, As I mentioned in the beginning, nearly 52 lakh kilometers of road in the country are rural roads. In maybe about 20 years back, we started this rural road program called as the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, PMGSY. Under this PMGSY program, we want to connect, initially we want to provide an all-weather road to all villages with a population of 1000. All-weather means motorable all through the year. So, initially we want to connect all villages with a population of 1000 with an all-weather road. We connected all villages. Then we took up the next phase to connect all villages with a population of 500. We connected all villages with a population of 500 in the country today. We have moved forward. All villages with a population of 250 will be connected with an all-weather road. We are in the process of connecting all villages with a population of 250 with an all-weather road. So, separate fund has been created for the this rural road program. You should remember at this point of time, there are two components of payment of tax to the government. One is the tax, conventional tax, which you pay when you buy every liter of petrol or diesel. But the issue is that when you pay a tax, that tax money can be used for any purpose by the government. For example, for defense, for education, for healthcare. You may pay a road tax, but the road tax can be used for any other component. Whereas, if you pay the money in terms of cess, the money has to be utilized only for the purpose for which it is collected. So, for every liter of petrol and diesel that you consume, you are paying 2 rupees as a cess. 1 rupee is earmarked for NHDP, 1 rupee is earmarked for rural roads. So, dedicated fund is available. So, funding the rural road is not an issue, number one. Number two, private sector will not come forward to construct rural roads. There is no question of tolling the rural road. Nobody will pay a toll. If that is the case, who will construct the road? So, the connectivity is to be provided only by the government. So, we need to get money for constructing these rural roads. So, this was the condition of rural roads in 2001. They call it as a metal road. Now, with the growth in the economy, no bullock carts with a steel tire. Now, every house in the state, for example, in Tamil Nadu, more than 7-8 crore population, every house has got a motorized vehicle. If that is the case, nobody would like to go in a road like this. Every village has got several vehicles. This was the condition of metal roads in the years in 2001. Under this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, later on called this as the Bharat Nirman program, we had spent nearly 48,000 crores, centrally sponsored. So, the money that we are getting is more than 2,500 initially crores per year. More than 5,000 crores money is being available every year from the petrol and cess. With the result, we are able to provide better quality rural roads in the country today. Out of the 5,89,317 villages, unconnected habitations around 3,30,000. So, the country economy can grow if and only if the rural roads are also improved. On one hand, I talked about the savings in travel time, savings in vehicle operating costs. But we should also see what are the benefits of providing a better quality road to the villages. By providing a better quality roads to the villages, the education level of the villages improve, the health improves. They are able to sell the products at a much better price. So, the economy of the villages also grows in a way. So, in a nutshell, what you understand is that more societal benefits will be there if you improve the quality of the village roads. More economic benefits you will get if you improve the quality of the highways. So, having said this about these roads today, this is the quality of the rural roads. Under the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, we are able to see better quality roads connecting every village with a population of 250 by now like this. So, issue arises at this point of time. What are the challenges before you? What is there? What is there to construct this? What you are seeing on the top is a black surface. But what has been buried below, you do not understand. You do not know at this point of time. The major problem that is faced today in India is non-availability of materials for construction. So, I have money, I have the design, but I don't have materials to construct. So, if we require about 150 million cubic meter of aggregates every year for road construction, where do you get materials? So, what we can do is, okay, if there is a hillock, break the hillock, construct a road. But we are not looking at this point of time, what are the damages that we cause to the environment by demolishing, breaking away a hill and making a road. Is it sustainable? Is a major challenge. So, the other problem is that if you want to construct the road in Bengal, West Bengal, the aggregates are being transported from Patna, Bihar. For transporting nearly for 60 kilometers of road development, I require about 20 lakh tons of aggregates. On one hand, the cost of aggregate. The second hand, you have to transport the aggregates to your longer distances. For transporting 200 kilometers, I require about 180 lakh liters of diesel for transportation alone. If that is the case, is the road building a sustainable proposition is what you should now think. Remember, I am now talking about road construction. Always remember, this infrastructure that we have created should last longer. It will require materials subsequently for doing the operation. Road will undergo deterioration. You will find cracks, you will find potholes. So, if that is the case, again I need to provide an additional thickness of this pavement in terms of bituminous layers. If that is the case, where do I get materials? So, major first challenge faced by that will be faced by all of you when you graduate is that when materials are not available, how am I going to construct these highways? That is the first or the major challenge before you. For designing a pavement, for example, you estimate what is the traffic that is likely to use a highway. We always consider only commercial vehicles for the design, trucks only we consider for the pavement design. If you look at the pavement design, the thickness of the different layers, what you are seeing at the top is only the black layer, where what you are seeing is only 750 is the top bituminous layer, 170 is again a bituminous layer, 250 may be a granular layer, 300 millimeter may be a soil layer. So, in all, for a pavement whose strength is around 5% is the strength of subgrade, I require nearly 77 centimeter of a pavement thickness. If the expected traffic is around 150 million standard axles. We express the number of commercial vehicles in terms of standard axles. A truck is supposed to carry 12 tons. If a truck carries 12 tons, the front axle is supposed to carry 4 tons, the rear axle will carry nearly 8 tons. This I call as a standard truck. When the vehicle carries higher and higher loads, the damage that they cause to a pavement increases exponentially. Suppose if I put in a number, the number of vehicles that are likely to use in a period of 15 or 20 years is 150 million. I require about 770 millimeter is the thickness of the pavement layers. So, what? In this, if you want to construct, I require nearly 15,000 metric tons of aggregates for constructing 1 kilometer of a 2-lane highway. So, typically a 60 kilometer stretch will require about 20 to 30 lakh tons of aggregates. For constructing the outer ring road, which I had mentioned for Chennai, we have considered more than a lakh cubic meter of soil. We have a huge quantity of material that we consume. Where do we get this material? How to design construct different layers? What you are seeing at the top is only the black top. But what is buried below is different layers, different materials. When materials are not available, how to make the structure long lasting and sustainable is a challenge. As the road undergoes deterioration, your vehicle operating cost will also go up. So, the next challenge is that how to ensure that the road that you are designing and constructing lasts longer, give a good riding comfort, and you are able to travel smoothly, comfortably and safely is a challenge. So, it is not only designing and constructing is a challenge, operation maintenance is also a challenge before you. How to construct a forgiving highway, how to build in safety features, how to ensure that the average speed is more than 100 kilometers per hour. So, when should I convert a 2-lane road into a 4-lane? So, when you convert a 2-lane into 4-lane, you require more quantity of materials. Materials not available. If so, what is the challenge and how do we design this? So, if you want to do this, the challenge before you is that selection of the payment type. So, what you are seeing, the black top which you are seeing is called as a bituminous surface. We use bitumen for road construction. Some Americans call it asphalt, British call as bitumen, both are one and the same. They are obtained by the distinctive distillation of petroleum. So, you get different fractional distillation of petroleum, you will get the black residue at the bottom is the bitumen. So, this we use it for road construction, but this bitumen which is a residue, which is a waste product of the refinery, is being sold at a cost of 30 to 40,000 rupees per metric ton. We require several thousand metric tons of bitumen. So, in a payment, the bituminous layer alone will cost nearly 40% of the total payment cost. The issue arises at this point of time, we have to import crude, we have to get material for construction. So, is bituminous road is only the option available to me for construction. If you look at this, the second question that you should understand is that if I construct a road, how many years will it last? Will it last for 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, 10 years? So, when it fails early, it needs more early maintenance. So, when you look at the design of the road which should last longer, if you are a concessionaire, you would like to construct the road and forget about it. For 30 years, you should not warrant any maintenance. So, that is the case. You can design the road like a flexible pavement or a bituminous pavement. In a bituminous pavement, I have the embankment, I have a subgrade, I got a subbase, I got a base course and a bituminous layer. The black top which is seeing at the top is the bituminous layer, whose thickness is maybe around 150 to 200 millimeter, but costs nearly 40% of the total cost. I need granular layer as a base course, a granular layer subbase and about 500 millimeter of a subgrade. Huge quantity of material are required if you want to construct a bituminous road. And second point that you understand is that by the white line that you have shown there, the load that comes on the top gets distributed over a wider area to the subgrade, finally subgrade that supports the entire layers. The load distribution characteristics depends upon the thickness of each of the layers as well as the property of the materials used in different layers. Better quality materials, wider distribution of the stresses. Weak materials, the load distribution will be sharper, higher stresses will come at the bottom of the subgrade, which means the subgrade will be affected, you will find undulating surface on the top. So, if you want the stresses to remain within the allowable limit, either you should increase the thickness or have better quality materials. So, one challenge or option before you is to choose a payment which can be a bituminous payment. The other issue is that I can also go in for a concrete payment. Issue is that when I construct a bituminous payment like this, the life of this bituminous payment or a flexible payment is around 15 years to 20 years. It cannot last more than that. Alternatively, if you can go in for a concrete payment, it lasts nearly 30 years without major maintenance. So, secondly, the thickness of the concrete pavement is much lower when compared to a bituminous pavement. But the cost of constructing concrete pavement will be slightly higher than a bituminous pavement. The cost varies, the difference varies as on today. When bitumen is around 30,000 rupees per metric ton, the cost of the concrete pavement will be higher than the bituminous pavement by around 20 to 30% more. The issue is that should I spend more initially and spend less on maintenance, or spend less initially and spend more on maintenance subsequently. So, that is a challenge that we will face, you will face. So, no one will tell when you design a road, no one will tell design a bituminous road or design a concrete pavement. So, it is a job of the civil engineer to decide the appropriate pavement type which will last for 30 years without major maintenance. So, when material is not available, how are we going to design the structure is a challenge before us. I think it's time, 50 minutes of time is over. I will continue this subsequently in the next class on 10th.